Welcome and thank you everyone for joining this session, whether you're watching it live or listening to a recording. My name is Jonathan Kershaw and I'm a Director of Product Management at Vonage. I'm going to be talking about how contact center agents are now freed up to work from anywhere and what's involved in terms of making the virtual contact center a reality. Communications has profoundly changed. It used to be really simple, a transactional conversation, one time over the phone. Now, the number of channels has exploded. Voice, video, all the social channels, SMS, and they all vary all around the world. Customers expect to interact with companies through the channels they want to interact with. And as they move from channel to channel, they expect the context of the conversations to move with them. Customers expect the experience they have will be equal to the best experiences they've had in the past, whether it's Uber, Amazon, or another tech-oriented company. Ultimately, you get this disconnected employee experience and disconnected constituent or member experience. Looking at the left-hand side of this slide, when employees are interacting with constituents, they're interacting in silos. They go from one place for a conversation to another place for a chat, another place for social, etc., 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 leading to a very siloed approach and an infrastructure that leads to poor communication and poor customer experience. So I want to introduce you to the world's most flexible communications platform, Vonage, and its communications platform with our APIs embedded, a cloud-native, globally scalable platform that integrates with third parties and leverages our global carrier network. You can access the platform in three ways. Firstly, you can leverage our off-the-shelf applications. Secondly, you can also build your own applications and leverage our communication APIs to customize your applications and embed communications in them. And thirdly, you can have the best of both worlds, leverage our applications and then customize them for your needs, providing the ultimate in flexibility. And we've always been known for reinventing communications. We've been around since 2001, now with over 2,200 employees globally in 36 offices. And we have an ecosystem of 845,000 developers with over 200 patents, and we've won almost every award out there from analysts. So this is our agenda for today, connecting up some of the issues faced by contact center leaders with solutions that Vonage can offer. So let's get started. As you hopefully know, we're operating in the experience economy. It's no longer just about purchasing a product or service or getting the job done. People are looking for a great experience and will opt to work with solutions and providers that deliver consistently excellent experiences. Great customer experience is about delivering something memorable to capture and engage the customer. However, it's important to understand that experience includes both the employee and customer experience. And engaged employees will drive better customer experiences. So in today's world, where more people are working from home or remotely, what does that mean in terms of running what we call a virtual contact center? What we're now seeing as an emerging trend is the concept of contact centers where the agents can literally be located anywhere. Some agents may be in the head office, others in satellite offices or central contact center locations, and others at home. This can be a big challenge for legacy and on-premise contact centers, but it's business as usual for a well-designed cloud contact center. The other change we're seeing is that customer expectations are increasing. The growth of SMS has increased 7,700% over the last decade, with 5 billion people around the world having the ability to text message, as opposed to just 1 billion in 2003. Also, 97% of Americans text at least once a day. And last year, WhatsApp said that its 1.2 billion users made 55 million video calls a day. Communications have always been at the heart of business success, but they've fundamentally changed and are now shifting from transactional moments to building relationships through profoundly different human experiences. So how can Vonage help with these emerging trends of remote working and rising customer experience? Well, one part of the answer is the speech analytics tool, Conversation Analyzer. But for contact center managers, there's a constant pressure from all areas of the business. Customer calls need to be handled in a timely and planned manner, yet you need to ensure that they are given great experiences to drive strong NPS or CSAT and prevent customers from churning. Staff must be trained to a high standard to understand and solve customer needs. Plans to be in place for manning and scheduling of agent phones and channels. And of course, staff churn must be reduced to as little as possible. So we've detailed here a list of some of the typical issues that we hear from customers about why they don't feel comfortable with remote agents. So, call control. Agents spend time on hold, or too much time on hold, or not in the ready state, as they possibly don't have the focus on them that they do when they're in the contact center. In a contact center, agent focus is partially maintained by looking at wallboards, as they know the queues are building, or there's an important call they must take out of the queue. How do you get that wallboard information into agents' homes, driving that motivation? We need to ensure mental well-being. Water cooler moments help agents relax and manage their mental well-being. How can businesses ensure mental well-being? Health and safety, we need to ensure remote agents have proper seating, desk, and a quiet environment. And we also need to ensure security of customer data, which is absolutely key. So let's think about those challenges of having remote agents and how we might go about solving them. Conversation Analyzer is a speech analytics tool that allows you to listen to up to 100% of calls and generate business insights, which gives you increased speed to insight. You'll be able to identify issues before they escalate, being notified of negative insights very quickly after they occur. By listening to these calls, you can ensure you get efficient and effective quality management. You can now see where you can improve your sales messages, reduce any compliance risk, and also ensure your employees are more engaged because they now know you are monitoring all calls equally and fairly across the contact center, regardless of their virtual location. When agents start working remotely, we hear that there can initially be issues around isolation, camaraderie, and generally maintaining good mental health. What can we do to help recreate that office environment so that remote workers still feel part of the family? Well, when agents are in an office environment, they can benefit enormously from hearing the other conversations going on around them, and having the ability to catch their supervisor's attention over minor things and enjoying gossip or water cooler moments. So we need to find a way to recreate this virtually for when agents are working from home or working remotely. The equivalent of putting a hand up for help might be an instant message tool that can be utilized even when on calls or doing other tasks. Many of us today will respond to messages whilst in meetings. All of our supervisor coaching tools that Vonage offers are from anywhere. Features like whisper coaching, secret monitoring mode, three-way mode, or jointly reviewing calls. Ultimately, this is all about helping supervisors uncover any agent issues to help them get back on track quickly. So let's get back to the topic of how an agent can feel part of the contact center, even if they're at home. How can we recreate the wallboard that all agents and supervisors would typically look at during the working day? We've made our dashboards available to all contact center staff, wherever they're located via a simple URL in their browser. The dashboards can show a near real-time intraday display of insights into contact center activity. Metrics are viewed through the lens of the agents, queues, or interactions, each offering grouping and filters, such as skills, presence, direction, and media type. There are even built-in threshold capabilities to let users draw attention to changes in contact center performance. We're hearing a lot about AI these days, and the concept of a virtual assistant certainly sounds compelling for handling calls easily and coping with peaks and extending operating hours. What else is there to know about a virtual assistant in relation to the contact center? So quickly, Gartner defines virtual customer assistants as business applications that simulate a voice or text conversation with customers in order to deliver information or take action on behalf of the customer. Engagement is possible via live chat, SMS, or other apps and kiosks or web-based or mobile interfaces. But how can it actually help your business? Again, according to Gartner, by 2023, customers will prefer to use speech interfaces to initiate 70% of self-service. Vonage's virtual assistant delivers exactly that. Customers are able to naturally converse with the virtual assistant by speaking their initial problem or need, and the virtual assistant will ask relevant questions to intelligently work out the information that needs to be gathered before an appropriate answer can be given or process completed. This process can be done across multiple channels using APIs in the Vonage platform. The Vonage AI virtual assistant delivers a truly AI-driven conversation using semi-automated machine learning algorithms. It's not just a set of simple pre-canned knowledge-based articles. The virtual assistant enables you to reduce inbound calls since customers are happy speaking to a self-service solution instead of an agent. Average handle time reduces for certain call types as the virtual assistant keeps focused on specific questions and processes and reduces wait times. Some solutions like this can take months to deliver before seeing benefit. Vonage Virtual Assistant can be deployed in 10 to 20 days, depending on the use case. It doesn't need lots of training, data, or multiple versions of phrases to make it work. You just get business value very, very quickly. Now, I would like to introduce you to Ryan Lang from NCS, who's going to share his experiences with you. Ryan, please, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
I can indeed, Jonathan. Thank you very much. Yes, as Jonathan said, my name is Ryan Lang. I am the lengthily titled Information Services Improvement and Innovation Partner at the NCS Trust. In simpler language, I am the product owner for our Salesforce platforms and also for our Vonage platform as well.
Brilliant, thank you very much. So we're going to start with a two-part question. So firstly, can you tell us about your organization? And then secondly, what were the key drivers when selecting your contact center for the organization?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit of a funny one because what I would normally describe as having just finished doing is slightly different to what we have actually just finished doing. So in a normal summer, we'd have had tens of thousands of young people out on our residential programs, meeting new people, learning new skills, team building, bonding, delivering social action projects in their community. Obviously, due to lockdown, we had to have a slight tweak to that, but we still managed to get thousands of young people across England out in their communities delivering social action projects. It's amazing work from our network to still actually be able to get young people out. It's been a tough time for them, so we wanted to make sure there were still opportunities to get out and feel like they were part of recovery out of lockdown. A couple of examples for you. We've had Weymouth College down in the southwest there, clearing nature reserves and parks. We've had Salford Foundation raising awareness for homelessness in Greater Manchester, partnership with Shelter. We've had some really great relationships with the Charity Retail Association, so linking young people to help out as charity shops start to open again now. So there's been some really great stuff going on over the summer. And in terms of why we chose the solution we did, the flexibility that's allowed us to move from planning on doing one thing to still delivering on something else, and being able to do that in an environment whereby we need to communicate with young people and parents from home, that's pretty much why we chose the platform we did. This week, we're opening up registrations for autumn activities, again, giving young people the opportunity to get out and about, do social action, help out their communities. And again, that will largely be delivered from advisors working from home.
That sounds brilliant. I think I may have missed the boat on the young person part, but yeah, just it's great to hear about that, the flexibility that you've been able to achieve with that. So secondly, how has Vonage helped basically your agents work remotely, which is obviously a key focus at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for us, we'd been on a bit of a journey anyway around sort of cloud platforms and looking at the sort of changing world of work in terms of more remote working and remote management. So we were, thankfully a little bit ahead of the game on that. But from a Vonage perspective, what we really needed was the simplicity of that move, nothing complicated for advisors. And I think the simplicity of the platform has helped that massively as we've moved people to, browser-based dialing, and that working from home environment. I think the other thing for us as well is it took us just under 2 weeks to move 1,000 users across probably 50 plus different organizations to be able to work from home. So anything I say to say how has it helped, that figure I think shows the ease. It was a massive challenge, but the platform gave us the ability to actually do that. And I think even from a reporting perspective, from a dashboard perspective, we still have the same level of management oversight as we had when people were on site through all of those cloud platforms, dashboards, and sort of real-time reporting as well.
Wow, there's some big numbers, and to do that, and I guess to give your customers that reassurance that you're there and supporting them must have been huge for them as well.
I've had to brush out quite a lot of grey to appear on this.
If only I had the greater brush, but never mind. What's next? So you've obviously got the contact center, but what in terms of making the virtual contact center a reality? What's next for you?
I think it's taking some of the learnings we've had over the last few months, Jonathan, and putting those more into process. A lot of the things that we've been doing over the last few months are things that perhaps seemed like a bold step in any other normal time. And I think we take the learning from that and actually then keep the things that worked and refine the things that, you know, we were less pleased with. But certainly from a technology point of view, moving over to omni-channel routing through Vonage of all of our live chats and cases, using the skill management so we can better use the abilities of advisors, just to reference the fact that, you know, there will be less sort of side-by-side coaching of people, and actually it's more important now to identify skills and deliver the correct interactions to the correct people at that time. I think the other one, as you well know, Jonathan, is virtual assistant. We're piloting that at the moment, and we're really excited by some of the options that gives us, especially in a kind of Alexa, Siri comfortable world, how we can leverage some of that sort of voice conversational AI into our interactions. I think the big challenge for us is potentially moving forward, how do we retain the social aspect of work, and how do we retain the, you know, those day-to-day interactions if we're looking at longer term working from home, and particularly from a contact center perspective?
I think that's key. The whole challenge of working from home, homing from work, is, you know, you need that line without that. But it does sound like, you know, you were on this journey anyway, so you've been able to accelerate it, which is always good. And I guess that gives you an edge or an advantage. So last question. I appreciate this, you know, using some of your time. So and probably key to certain areas. How are you maintaining and ensuring security and compliance of payments and data in a virtual contact center? That's got to be quite crucial, you know, as a business and for customers.
Absolutely. I mean, it's our highest priority. It would be in any normal time, and more so with working from home. I think one of the benefits we see from using big cloud platforms is the level of visibility you have of who is doing what, from logging in and out to visibility to, you know, the calls being made when they're being made, and the sort of real-time monitoring. We have dashboards for all of that. I think you can have all of the processes in the world, but I think it's down to communication and understanding a lot of the time. So a lot of the work we've been investing is making sure that people are aware of what they should be doing. And that guidance piece, we've been running for the past 5 months, twice weekly calls with our network, where anybody from across the network can drop on. We update on new process, new guidance. Another really helpful thing we've done is use our e-signature platform as a way to push out guidance to all of our users. So we've been able to push out guidance that requires reading and signing. So that gives a degree of comfort for the person who's doing their job, because they know they've had the most up-to-date guidance, but also for us, it gives us an auditable track of who has received the latest information, what version we're on, etc. So I think the real key around the security piece has been making sure people were comfortable and knew exactly what it is that they were supposed to be doing and could be doing from home.
Okay, which I think you're calling out a key thing, that just clarity and communication and reassurance, regardless of where anyone is. So those were my 4 questions. I really want to thank you for your time, Ryan. It's been really useful and insightful. I could listen to you so much longer. So thank you again. But to everyone else, there you have it. For many organizations, Agent Anywhere is becoming the new normal. With a cloud contact center from Vonage, this becomes a reality, increasing workforce flexibility, agent satisfaction, and available pool of potential agents. So again, thank you all for listening, but we'd just like to wrap up this session with a few very short poll questions. I'd greatly appreciate it if you can take 2 minutes to fill them out before you log into this session. So thanks again to Ryan, and thank you to everyone else.